Start right off. Hey everyone, I'm Zach.
Hey everyone, I'm Tyler, and you're watching Bridging the Gap. Zach, obviously it's March. March Madness is among us. How's your bracket doing so far?
Well, I can tell you this that I think it's what is it, one in a is it 26 trillion or something like that? You have to is the odds
Insane.
of getting a perfect bracket. I can safely tell you that I am not one of those people. I have never been one of those people. Nor have I ever in my entire life of the 10 years that I've been doing these brackets have I ever actually haven't I've never even picked like the winner yet. So
Really?
we'll see how this goes.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
How
remember there were a few perfect brackets remaining, and then when Florida lost, I believe it was Sunday night. When Florida lost, they all went out the door. It was totally unfortunate because there was a few lucky individuals who really thought they finally had the perfect bracket. Nope,
did
not
you
anymore.
have High Point or did you have Wisconsin winning?
So I had Wisconsin winning, but I had them losing in the next round.
Okay.
So the good thing about my bracket is I had a few teams who I projected to be the upsets. Unfortunately, it didn't go my way, but I had them losing in the next round.
Yeah.
So I had 14 of my 16 Sweet 16 teams who made it. So that helped me get some points in the second day. And then my entire Elite Eight, actually, no, because of Florida. So 7 of my 8 Elite Eight, and then all 4 of my Final Four teams are still in. So I'm still in a decent position, which
Okay.
usually I'm not.
I did two brackets. I did one that was just like all underdogs, which that one I like to always do just for fun.
It's fun.
Obviously, I had a few wins, which I was not expecting whatsoever. I was very surprised watching the High Point game that they won. Like, good for them. You know, they that was crazy. I think wasn't it their first time ever making it to the dance as well, too, I
I think
believe,
it
in
might,
their school history.
I know it was their first win. It might have been their first appearance too.
Yeah,
But you have a team like that every March. It's usually an 11 or 12 seed,
yeah.
and they just have shooters, and all they do is just hit three after three. And it's so, like you had this 2 years ago with Oakland when they beat Kentucky. Jack Golke, I believe his name was.
Yeah.
This dude, he shot every shot he took that year, besides 2 or 3 pointers.
That
And
reminds me of High Point, same thing. Exactly.
yeah, their best player, the one who hit the game-winning layup, that was his first 2-point make of the year. All he does is shoot threes.
Wow. Okay. It reminds me of Shaheen Holloway, who's obviously the current coach of Seton Hall now. When he ran with his team at St. Peter's, with the Peacocks of Jersey. They're in Jersey City.
Yep.
It's you see the maps. It's like who's rooting for who. It's like everyone's voting for New Jersey. Today.
Yeah.
And so too bad the Pirates this year, my alma mater, did not make it. We'll see. I'm surprised, that they didn't do the NIT or not NIT. NIT or other because like 2 years ago we won NIT, which I would say argues also we also lost to St. John's in the Big East too that year as well. So it's like, we probably should be making the tournament. AP did put us at top 25 at the beginning of the year in January. So, Big East is the tough conference, be it. I will argue that it's the best conference for college basketball. I am extremely biased in that statement, though. But I will say, look, you got teams like UConn. You have, you have legacy teams like you have legacy teams such as Villanova. You have UConn. You have St. John's. You have Providence, who did, who I don't think they did too super well this year, but in past years they've gone to the dance as well. So you have a consistent group of teams that consistently do make it to the, obviously, you send X amount of teams, but you also send, more teams by being ranked as well. And you have consistent group of 5 to 6 teams that are usually ranked as well nationally in the Big East. The only other group that could probably beat us, I might say, maybe be like, is it Pac-12? I think Iowa State's in.
Oh, the Big 12.
Big 12. Yeah.
Big 12 had a lot of teams this year.
Yeah. So, I mean, I grew up with a guy. I played basketball with him in middle school and elementary school, and he was a manager for Iowa State. And we would always go back and forth talking about how, Seton Hall, because we played Iowa and in the Bahamas our freshman year of college, and we beat them, so it was fun. But
So you had bragging rights.
I had bragging rights for about 2 weeks, and then we lost to them after that. So, and then we didn't play them again. So it was not a great way to end that.
That's tough. I mean, obviously you're a big Seton Hall fan. I was at their game, the last regular season game versus St. John's, and they teased me because St. John's was ranked 17th. Obviously, Seton Hall's fighting for the opportunity to get into the postseason tournament, and they had them on the ropes. They were up 2 with a few minutes left, and then St. John's just pulled away. So it's tough sometimes in the Big East. I mean, dog eat dog here. It's all the teams are very competitive. So
No,
it's been like that for years now.
When I played basketball, I did a couple camps with Bob Hurley, who's the most winningest coach in basketball history, and he would always tell me that the Big East is street ball. It's true. Like, and you see that when we play too. Like, you have the influences of New York City, you have Newark, you have Philly, you have all these of the original Big East teams, and it's no blood, no foul all of the times. Especially at Seton Hall, Villanova. They all embody this culture and group of people that we play tough basketball, and I always find it very entertaining. And it's also just the same type of basketball that we play here in Jersey too. We're playing street ball and stuff.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I play basketball a lot with my friends, and we play tough. I mean, you don't walk out of there without a couple of bruises on you. I mean,
Tyler, how good would you say you are at basketball when you play?
I'll put it this way: I'm a team player. It's
I like to move. I don't know, man. I saw a few highlight reels of you bombing threes left and right.
I used to have a better shot back in the day. I'm retired now. It's
retired now. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm feeling it. I mean, I played basketball Saturday and Sunday because it was so nice out. And I think I developed shin splints. So it's
you get 25 and all of a sudden your body starts to fall apart.
Oh yeah, I feel like a 45-year-old in the NBA. It's I'm getting to the point I have to lace them up. It's it's getting to that point, but I'll play while I still can.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, hey, we'll be on the lookout now for whoever wins because I'm pretty sure March Madness will be over by the time our next episode comes out too. So we'll see. Who do you have winning?
So I might get a lot of hate for this. I am a huge Duke basketball fan, and I have been for my entire life. And I know they're the villain of NCAA men's basketball, but that's how I was brought up. How about you, Zach? Who'd you have?
Not Duke, I'll tell you that much. I did have my safe bracket was with Arizona, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's why I have Duke playing.
Yeah, so it's I had Arizona winning just because I saw a lot of their team. Just throughout the season, I thought that you'd almost be a sleeper in some way. I know that they're ranked high and stuff like that, but again, I also don't believe in AP ranking, as you can tell by my affinity for my home team of Seton Hall Pirates.
Yeah, I mean, in March, AP means nothing.
No, and to be fair, Frank the Tank, the man himself, also wants the Seton Hall Pirates to go far. So, why not?
Yeah.
You gotta believe, because I can't. I'm not gonna put the Mets with the Pirates though, because Pirates win more than the Mets do.
Oh, you're a Mets fan.
No offense to any Mets fans, but
are you a Mets fan or you're
no? But I'm a Yankees fan when it comes to baseball, but that's just because my mom's maiden name is Williams, so it's super easy to get a jersey within that family.
Yeah, you got quite a few options.
Yeah, quite a few options for that, so it was pretty easy to do that. But the only team that I get the pain from is my football team, as you know, with the Jets. So
I'm not too far behind. I'm a Giants fan. So
yeah. So, hey, you know what they say? I will say that if you're Mets, or actually we can even include Giants in this now because they haven't won a Super Bowl ring since we were in elementary school. We can at least say that if you're if you're a Jets, Giants, or Mets fan, you know that we are the most loyal men in the world. Because we will go through the trenches with our teams.
That's what I tell people about Knicks fans. I would watch every Knicks game the year that we went 17-65. I can name you the most absurd NBA players just from watching the Knicks growing up.
That's crazy.
But now we're good. So you
guys turned it around with those Villanova players, right?
Yeah, Big East. That's why.
Exactly. See,
To go full circle,
see.
yeah. We know
You
ball.
know. Oh, hey, look, I'm gonna say we know ball because Seton Hall's in 20, I think it was 2021, 2022. When did the Bucks win the NBA
I think that
championship?
was 2021.
Yeah, the year before that, I guess it was 2020. Our no, it was definitely 2021 because he went through, and then our center from the Seton Hall Pirates was the backup center for the Bucks, and he ended up getting drafted by the Bucks and then joining the Bucks, and then technically he has a ring because he joined the Bucks the year that they won in 2021.
He's still playing too. He's actually a really good backup big in the league.
Is he really?
Yeah, I think he's on the Raptors.
I used to see him in the gym when I go play pickup ball in the rec center. I am 6 foot. You and I are both 6 feet tall plus.
I think he's 7'1".
Yeah, I had to look up at him.
Yeah.
I was like, no, like this is why like I'm too tall. I'm too short to be a center in like collegiate basketball, man. To be fair, I stopped playing in high school, but
that's why I should play in my summer league.
I can't drain threes like you, Tyler. You know.
No, well, I probably hit one a year, so it's
Is that what the highlight reel was? You hitting two, you hitting your second one, so that's why you're gonna make a highlight reel of it.
Oh no, not a shot. I don't know. That's because I was playing indoors. Indoors, like shooting is up, 15% just from playing indoors. Single rim too. The court that I play on is double rim. They just redid the floor, which is nice, but double rim, you have to splash it or it's just going right out.
Well, you got to be good then, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Zach, I know yesterday you were down in Trenton, right?
Oh, yes. The wonderful 2-hour drive down to hang out in the rain for 4 hours, and then 2-hour drive back. All that to say that it was we were there as we were actually doing Man on the Street. I know you weren't there, but I have brought along one of our interns from Jersey First. We're doing Man on the Street stuff for Bridging the Gap. We're talking about what does the American dream mean to you? And if you guys go check out our TikTok at Bridging the Gap at Jersey First TV, you can see some of the videos that we did there. We're also going to be posting them up on Instagram soon as well. So you can go follow us, on our Instagram, our social media is there. And so, we went around, there was probably about 100 people there, I would say, which is pretty good for, as it was a Republican rally, they were talking about immigration reform and different ICE bills. It's a very, very hot topic right now, to say the least. And so, for it being Monday morning, raining, and everyone else at work, having 100 people there was a pretty good turnout, I definitely would say. And so, we got quite a few videos on there. We got to talk to a few assembly members there. The rally there was talking about there's 3 bills that they had going up. And so some of them are talking about masks for ICE agents. Others were talking about the legal ramifications that ICE agents could do, any of the, things that you can sue them back, and a lot of the legal parameters, as well as limiting some of where they could do their operations as a whole. As we literally this weekend, President Trump, actually starting today or yesterday, one or the other, President Trump allows now for ICE agents to be in airports. And so I saw a video this morning from Newark Airport of people, actually it was like 2 people, were yelling, obscenities to ICE. And then you also see people going up and shaking their hands, saying, hey, thanks for, keeping our place safe. They're also people too at the end of the day, but I do think that we need to have some accountability in some instances, because you don't want people to die, you don't want people to be hurt, or people who are here legally. It's as a second generation born in the United States myself, there was actually quite a few immigrants there that I was talking to, and they're like, yeah, we need reform, but we shouldn't be. It's almost like it's around the messaging, or the same way of like defund the police. Well, we all think the police do a great job in our local communities, so why not? We need to make reforms though, because our society is changing all the time, and it's we need to make these changes to reflect our society as a whole, and as well as making our communities safe, as in between the two. But the rally was fun. There was a good turnout. There was no counter protest, which I was a little upset.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
I was hoping there would be. But there wasn't. There was us and a group of nurses that were there protesting in a separate bill. So they were chill. It wasn't anything crazy. And I don't blame them. I mean, they were inside too, so it's like, hey, go ahead, guys. Just do your own thing inside. So we were outside, but they had a couple of angel moms there. They flew into from California. They had it was very heart wrenching stories talking about how they lost their children to illegal immigrants. And then there was people there that talked about, they you get the full range of the political spectrum at these rallies. There was people there that literally said there was a sign, and this is going to be an exact quote of this. That don't necessarily agree with it because it was kind of crazy. But it was said that Governor Mikey Sherrill is a slave to communist China, and I just was like, okay then. All right. So it was next to the people that were had a bunch of other different signs, but I was like, excuse me, like, okay. Hey, free speech, I guess, right? Like, that's not an obscenity. It's not, it's not inciting violence. So,
yeah, I mean, throughout the years, I've seen some nasty political signs at protests and counter protests from both sides.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, that one's not like too bad. It's just a little out there for the rally, for like what the rally's about. But
yeah, it was like, and the bills were about like regulatory reform for federal police, and I'm like, I also like there's also a whole bunch of like the constitutionality of these is very much so in question. California had a similar mask ban specifically just for ICE, and multiple Supreme Court, like multiple justices, both on a federal level and on the state level, shot it down, saying that that's unconstitutional for California to do that. But this bill got changed a little bit to talk about all police officers that are all law enforcement in New Jersey.
Okay, so they're not looking to just make a specific ICE now. They're
looking because they shut it down because they said states' rights, but they shut it down because there's there's federalism at the end of the day, So it was very interesting because like states can't tell federal agents what to do and what not to do, so it's like, okay, well, whatever. But I mean, if I'm sure a court would say the exact same thing, in that regard of you can't tell federal agents what they can and can't do. So it's definitely very interesting to see where that's going to go.
No, definitely. I mean, so the bills, was it passed by the assembly later that day? Or
so basically it was voted along party lines pretty much, except from the Senate. There was one Republican who voted for one of the three bills regarding the masks. But basically, they allowed for all the Democrats went up and voted. If you guys go check out Assemblyman Paul Kenitra, he was the one who put together the rally. He basically did. He went up and had a whole testimony on the floor talking about the bills. And Paul is a bit of a. Sometimes he's a bit of a rebel rouser, I definitely would like to say. But I like that character about him, that he will get up and stand in his own, beliefs and do it fully. He asked for an amendment to the bill instead of because the speaker was yelling at him like, hey, don't be like just grandstanding. He goes, sure, okay, I'll keep it short and swift. I'm going to propose us to bring it back to a second reading so that the Democrats can add into it an amendment to allow for them to house all the immigrants in their own housing. He would have said, "Well, put your words where put your money where your mouth is." And I was like, you know what? Good for you, Paul. So
that's funny that you said that. I saw a video on Instagram. It was someone knocking door to door, and he's like, "Oh, do you support?" I think it was like, "Do you support illegal immigration?" And she says, "Yes, of course." So he pulled out a couple actors from the call. He goes, "Oh, hey, they're from blah blah blah. They're here to stay with you for the next 2 years." And she's like, "No."
So, yeah, no. What was that? But real life.
I did see that video. It's pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think he's probably one of the most entertaining, legislators out there. He also talks about, he represents the Jersey Shore, man. Like, he's talking about Jersey Shore is like Trump country comparatively to like where we live. Like we live in God's country, as I'll put it, because we believe in people in nature together, and literally that's our county slogan and all this, different things like that. But he represents like Trump country with Ocean County, voting for Donald Trump by like 37%, 36%. which was the highest margin of any county in New Jersey.
Yeah.
So, but he does represent a very diverse area because he's from like as I'll call them, the barrier islands, going from like Point Pleasant up to Spring Lake. So it's wide range. And then he also represents Tom's River and Brick, working class people. They're not wealthy people. They're not wealthy towns that like hide their garbage and do different things. It's like, yeah, we're normal people and we commute and do work. So hey, he's a man of the people at the very least. And my understanding, people really like him, especially with the numbers that he got this past year, almost 70%. So,
yeah. I never had the pleasure of personally meeting him, but I know I was on a call with you were running Jersey First. I think it was regarding energy prices.
Yeah.
And I remember, he was on there and I was listening to him and I was like, I don't know this Paul guy, but he knows what he's talking about. So
we'll get you a private meeting with him. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll have to figure this out, set it up down the line.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do down the shore with him, talking. We'll do a video, man on the street down the shore, because he was the former mayor of Point Pleasant Beach. Okay. So I'm sure he can be like, yeah, pull up to Jenks, we can hang out, or we'll go up to Manasquan and go to DJs with him.
DJs?
Go to DJs, man. We can go do man on the street.
I'm sure that'll be good interviews.
It would be our best interviews. That we like AJ and Steven before us. They went to Seaside during, I think it was prom weekend or something like that. Mm-hmm. During Biden, it was like 2024. Yeah, it was the summer going into November of 2024. They were talking about inflation, and they did a whole thing about talking to people on the shore during prom weekend. To say the very least.
Yeah, so everyone's just hammered.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah. And if you go to our Instagram, you'll see the video of them. They interviewed this one girl, and she was like, she was a little out of it. You can tell. But she was just like, it raised how much? Like, so I definitely think we should go down the shore and do some fun things like that. I think that would be watch out on our TikTok videos as we'll put it up.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a great idea. I mean, it'll be fun. We got to enjoy the beach. Go to Jenks or DJs, have a good time. Yeah, I mean,
exactly. Maybe we even do maybe we'll bring around a cooler with us and hand out ice cream sandwiches for people that do the videos with us.
That'd be a nice idea.
Yeah, you gotta incentivize the people.
Yeah, a little more affordable than gift cards or.
Yes. No, exactly. Although they did gift cards last time. I think they gave them to it was like $10 or $5 to like a local like ice cream shop or something like that. So.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that would be cool too, but man, I think the ice cream sandwiches would be a lot more people. Let's just get a bunch of Klondike bars and walk around and be like, hey, so.
Yeah, because like a $10 gift card is cool, but then you got to go somewhere and spend it. We're bringing the ice cream to you.
Yes.
So it's right then and there, supply, demand, eat. You're good.
Exactly. So I think that'd be a lot harder. No, it would be a lot of fun. So, I mean, they talked about a lot of different things at the rally. They talked about housing. They talked about, developments. They talked actually about how much it costs the state, apparently it costs the state between around $7 billion a year. Between, think about like, if they go to the hospital, if they, police or fire, EMS. And then also on top of that, it's also like other services, like you're using the roads, you're using, all these different things. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely an issue that our generation is going to have to tackle a little bit. Because apparently we're estimating around 980,000 illegal immigrants in New Jersey. I don't know how accurate that number is, but that is something I'm pretty sure, from my understanding, is that's the estimated number, which in theory, if you do, and this is the crazy thing about this, if you got rid of all 980,000 illegal immigrants in New Jersey, you can technically say that New Jersey needs one less congressional district, because New Jersey has... Our congressional districts are roughly like 750 to 775,000 people. So that's almost an entire congressional district worth of people, plus an additional quarter. Give or take. So, if they got rid of all, in theory, if they deported all of them or whatever, it would actually change up our political map of New Jersey, and then it would also be, I think when I did the math, because legislative districts also are counted into that too. Our legislative districts are roughly like 300,000 people. Well, if you say there's 900,000 of them, let's say that's 3 legislative districts. That's 3 state senators and 6 state assembly members. They have to redraw.
That would, especially with the census coming up in, do we do, I know it's every 10 years, but is it
Yeah,
2031?
I think it is 2031.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
exactly.
then
I think it's
we
30
do
years.
redistricting in 2032 or
Yeah.
2033 is when the first cycle. 2032/2033 is the first two cycles
Okay.
of new maps. Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll see what happens in the next, few years. You never know. I mean, things happen so quickly nowadays.
No, they do. I mean, even going into to be fair, New Jersey has also seen people move in too. We saw it increase between 2020 and 2024. Like 250,000 people moved to the state. Um,
You think it's a lot of people from New York?
I think so. It's between 2020 and 2024. So I think that it's a combination of things.
Okay.
I think that not it's not our generation, but it's like elder millennials that are moving that have gotten jobs and like are high up in the pay scale, so they're moving to New Jersey for the schools. 18 to 25-year-olds, consistently are still one of the higher numbers of people leaving the state and just not coming back. Same thing with 65 plus, but I think we've always known that the 65 plus were like you don't retire in Jersey. You don't retire to the Jersey Shore. You retire to Florida, the Carolinas, Delaware. Like even just going to Delaware.
Yeah,
Natalie's grandparents live in Delaware. They grew up in Bergen County. It's like, well, they had a successful business and then they retired and moved to Delaware because you don't pay income tax. Your pensions are so much cheaper, and you're still close to Jersey to get good health care. So, but I'm sure as plenty of our generation just moved to Florida because it's cheaper, it's warmer, you can buy a house.
I almost did it myself in 2023.
Yeah. I thought about it. I genuinely thought about my best friend growing up here. He moved to Dallas. He worked for Goldman, and he moved to Dallas because, well, one, because of the job, but two, you're making 90. He was making 80, 90K pretty easily. It's just like you can't get those jobs. Even if you're making 80, 90K in New Jersey, doesn't mean that like you're able to afford a house.
Yeah, that's not what you're taking home either.
No, because you're taking home a lot more in Texas than you are in Jersey.
Yeah, and same in a lot of a lot of southern states like Florida, Tennessee. They're in the same boat.
I was told that the two best places to buy a house right now are in Iowa and Arkansas. It's apparently like $350,000 is the median household like cost.
Actually, I have a friend who moved to Iowa 2 years ago.
I've been to Iowa once. I don't know like what's out there, necessarily.
I gotta ask my friend. He does forest fire, so I guess he's stationed down in Iowa. I guess it's I don't know.
Do the cornfields catch on fire?
I think he's 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, so he'll like have to fly in somewhere, like California, Montana, Arizona has had some in the past 2 years. So I think he gets flown in, and then
okay. I thought you were talking about forest fires in Iowa, and I'm like,
I don't think Des Moines is burning. I think it's I think all is good there.
Yeah. Otherwise, that'd be a big problem. I definitely feel like.
Oh yeah, be national headline.
Yeah. Not to be like super abrupt in our transitioning period, I definitely would say. But I know we also wanted to talk about the couple of the New Jersey news that's going on right now. I don't know if you saw. I think I sent you this article before. They're looking to create floating solar panels on the Wanacue Reservoir. I don't know if you saw anything about that.
Yeah, I did. I mean, it's supposed to span 20 acres. And what a lot of people don't realize too is that reservoir, it provides water for a lot of New Jersey residents. I forget how many, Zach. You probably know better than me. But
I think it was close to like a third of New Jerseyans. It's like, that I think when I did my research on after reading through, it was close to 1/3 of New Jersey. So it was like it supplied water to Newark, Patterson, Clifton, a lot of Bergen, Essex, Hudson counties, and it's like, all right, so you put the solar panels on it. What does that mean for the water supply? If this is like 1/3 of New Jersey population, what does that really mean? What are the environmental impacts of that? I mean, my parents just put solar panels on our house. I think it's fine, but then, there's been reports now of, I saw this video from a group of state assembly members in Michigan on Instagram the other day, and they were talking about how Frito-Lay's, I think, is the group. The group that does all the the chips and all those different things. They won't let you grow potatoes underneath solar farms because they say that there's a higher chance of heavy metals in the potatoes.
Mm.
So,
Well,
what does that mean? I don't know if that's true, but if
yeah,
that is true, what does that mean for the water supply if they want to put that on there? I don't know.
I think it's a big question mark. I mean, even when I'm, just going through the article now, I mean, this project was rejected in 2024, and it was
Oh,
because of environmental and safety concerns. So I don't know what they did to have it pass in 2026. I mean, maybe they made the necessary changes and precautions. I don't know. Either way, I think that when it comes to reservoirs, you should try to, keep these things out of them. Just protect the water,
yeah,
especially if it's going to the drinking supply of a third of the state.
yeah,
I mean, we're not talking peanuts here. We're talking about people's lives. So
yeah.
I don't know. I'll have to do some more research to see what the actual
Third of,
impact is.
third of the state's like 3 million people, by the way. That's like that's like probably five. No, wait, 3 million people is 5 times the amount of population of Vermont.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like six
Like,
things.
yeah, like 5 or 6 Wyomings, right? Like, it's not a small number.
Yeah.
It's of Americans and New Jerseyans as a whole. So we'll see where that goes. You know how it is being a council member. It's they propose all these things. You can approve it, but then does the DEP approve it? Does the same thing like down in Vineland right now? They're putting up a giant data center. I'm sure you saw.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, like that, you see that everywhere, and it's just like people are up in arms over that. I think the town council probably had, or the city council probably had good intentions. It builds jobs, it does different things like that. My understanding is that that data center also is supposed to have like a greenhouse attached to it too, to grow food doing hydroponics. I'm pretty sure to give back to like local food banks and stuff. But everyone's complaining about how the noise is crazy and stuff like that. So not necessarily a noise complaint with the Wanakee Reservoir, but
Yeah.
it's a safety complaint at the end of the day too.
Yeah. And
So
it's tough too. I mean, like you always see like a lot of building going on in our open space nowadays. I don't
no,
know. It's
definitely,
like I don't know. I mean, we grew up in Sussex County, so like the Sussex County we know for the most part is still here. But we have Wawas everywhere now.
yeah.
I remember when going down to the shore and stopping at Wawa was a luxury. Now going to a Sheetz in Pennsylvania is heaven on earth for me. Like
Oh, you
man,
might get some hate for that one, Tyler.
I know. Well, the thing is, I love Sheetz. I'm not gonna lie. Every time I go out to Indiana, I stop at one. It's a rite of passage.
Hot take, but okay. I'm a
Yeah.
quick check guy, which I also know is a hot take, but it's less of a hot take than a Sheets guy.
You don't like Sheetz?
It's not that I don't like Sheets. So like, man, I'm like I like my tier is like Quick Check then Wawa, and like, but it's like a very close second because I love Wawa mac and cheese, and you can put chicken fingers in the Wawa mac and cheese, but I just feel like the Quick Check sandwiches are a little bit thicker in some ways, so more filling, I guess.
Maybe I should have clarified my stance. With Sheetz, it's all of the sides and the little snacks. When it comes to subs, I'm team Quick Check.
Okay.
I have no doubt. I have the Quick Check right down the street. If I'm getting a sub, that's my first stop.
Okay.
Besides like a Jersey Mike's or
So are we gonna put a Sheets in Stanhope now? Right on 206.
I got a meeting in 45 minutes. I think that's going to be my first proposal.
There we go. There we go. Well, I know we talked briefly about open space. Our next episode, we're going to be hopefully having on youngest county commissioner in the state of New Jersey, Sussex County Commissioner Jack DeGroot. And Jack's a big advocate for open acres, green spaces, green acres. I know it just combined three words together. But he's a real advocate. He's up for election this year, I know, and him being also Gen Z. I think he's the only he might be the only Gen Z county commissioner. I'm not gonna say the only Gen Z elected official because I know that's not true. There are plenty of others that are young, such as yourself. So but he might be the youngest county commissioner in the state of New Jersey, which is crazy to think about. That we're the one of 21 counties, and there's only one out of all the 21 counties that at least have a minimum of 5 county commissioners that are under the age of 30. A little weird to think, a little crazy to think about that right now.
Crazy. It's also kind of crazy. We're almost 30.
Oh, don't put that out in the
We're
universe.
getting there. We're getting there.
But I turned 26 this year. It's
yeah, I do too.
It's time to go start looking at insurances.
Yeah, I'm already on it.
Yeah, no, literally same. So, but yeah, we'll have Jack on for our next episode. And thank you everyone for watching. Tyler, do you have any other closing remarks you want to tell to the people?
No, just everyone, thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate all your support. And definitely tune into the next episode with County Commissioner Jack DeGroot. It should be a good one.
All right. See you guys all next time.